Hello children, welcome to the English class. In the previous class, we were doing we are not afraid to die if we can all be together. I hope you remember the name of the lesson by Gordon Cook. In the lesson we had seen that Gordon Cook and his family were in a pathetic situation in the sea and they were suffering a lot. A huge wave, due to the storm in the sea, a huge wave broke onto their ship and the whole ship was filled with water. And it also damaged parts of the ship. Okay, and they tried their level best to drain out the water that had filled up the boat. Now, during this process, we have seen that during the process of draining out the water, their pump got blocked, and then the extra pumps that were there, they were twisted and damaged. Then that is when he realized that he had extra electric pump. He went and used it, and slowly the water level started going down. Okay, so I think we stopped at that. I hope you all are going through the lesson. Okay, today we are going to start with page 16, para 3 of the lesson. On January 4, after 36 hours of continuous pumping, we reached the last few centimeters of water. So, January 4th. So, January 3rd was they were in a very critical condition. Everything was really, because the ship was leaking, there was water in it, but somewhere they were relaxed a bit on January 3rd. January 4th, everything they felt was coming under control. Okay, and for 36 hours they continuously pumped out the water, and now a little water was there on board. So they had pumped out almost the whole of the water. A few centimeters of water was left. Now we had only to keep pace with the water still coming in. As we have read earlier, that there was a hole in the ship somewhere, and through that hole the water was continuously getting into the ship. So now what they had to do is they had to keep pace with the water that was entering. That is the amount of water entering, they had to pump that water out. There were no extra water on the boat. So we could now set any sail on the main mast. Mast, I told you, a pole in the center of the ship to which the sails are tied. So now everything they felt was under control. So now they could open up the sail and tie it to the main mast. Pressure on the rigging. Now what is rigging? Rigging is a system of ropes employed to support the mast and to control the sail. There are many ropes tied to the sail and to the mast to support the mast to stand straight, erect, and then to control the sail also. Okay, so pressure on the rigging would simply pull the damaged section of the hull apart. So we hoisted the storm jib and headed for where I thought the two islands were. So as he felt that if they used the ordinary sail that were used when they were in a good pleasant climate, then the rigging would damage would pull apart, would make a greater damage to this ship. So what they did was they hoisted the storm jib. Remember the storm jib? We have talked about it earlier. And headed and started moving towards the place where he thought the two islands were. Remember the two islands? Yes. One was Isle Amsterdam, a French scientific base. Okay, so they with the help of the storm jib started heading towards the two islands. Mary found some corned beef and cracker biscuits and we ate our first meal in almost 2 days. Just imagine, the last 2 days were really crucial and critical for them. So for the last 2 days they had forgotten that they were hungry, they had like something like thirst or anything. Okay, they were not feeling thirsty. The ultimate goal that they had for the last 2 days was survival. Okay, so for that they were continuously pumping out water, saving their ship. Okay, so they had forgotten about the food. So Mary found, in spite of all this damage and everything, she found a little bit food that was there intact, that are corned beef and cracker biscuits, and they ate the meal after 2 days. Okay, even the children, remember, even the children had they also did not eat anything for the past 2 days. But our respite means a period of short-lived rest or relief. This particular period of relief was very, very short-lived. But our respite was short-lived. Respite means a period of short rest or relief, remember, was very short. At 4 p.m., black clouds began building up behind us. So just imagine, okay, after they felt that everything was coming under control, they could survive, now everything will fall in place. That is when, at around 4 o'clock on January 4th, black clouds again started forming. Okay, black clouds resemble rain, you know it very well. And storm and rain in sea, it's terrible. Okay, so again black clouds started building up behind us, that is behind the ship. Within the hour, the wind was back to 40 knots and the seas were getting higher. So 40 knots means it's the speed of the unit of the speed of the wind, 40 knot. Okay, so the speed of the wind was 40 knots and the sea was getting higher. The sea was getting higher means the waves, huge waves started forming in the sea. The weather continued to deteriorate throughout the night. Deteriorate, the weather started becoming worse and worse throughout the night. By dawn on January 5, our situation was again desperate. So by dawn means early morning. In the early morning of January 5, their situation was again pathetic, again dreadful. Okay, horrible situation they were in, as they were on maybe January 2nd and 3rd. Okay, the same situation, especially January 2nd. When I went to comfort the children, John asked, "Daddy, are we going to die?" So just imagine, a 6-year-old child is asking that, "Daddy, are we going to die?" What do you think would be the mental makeup of the parents? Okay, a child asking a parent, "Am I going to die? Are we going to die?" So that is when a parent feels pained. Okay, I tried to assure him that we would make it. Who is I here? Garden cook, yes. So Garden cook, he tried to assure, okay, he tried to convince the child that they are not going to die. They will always win the battle with the sea and the storm. Okay, but Daddy, he went on, we aren't afraid of dying if we can all be together, you, Mommy, Sue and I. So the boy said, "But Daddy, I'm not afraid of dying. Dying is okay if we, all the 4 of us, are together and we die together. So there is no problem. Only if someone survives, that is when that person would be lonely. So if we all die together, I'm not afraid of dying." So the child is trying to convince the father. He is trying to morally support the father. Don't be scared. Okay, don't be tensed up that we are scared or something. Don't try to do that. You go on with your work. We are comfortable. Okay, that is what the child is trying to say to the father. Just imagine a child comforting the father. I could find no words with which to respond, but I left the children's cabin determined to fight the sea and with everything I had. So he left the cabin of the children, and now he was filled with new hope and enthusiasm to fight with the sea. And he said he was determined now to fight the sea with whatever he had. To protect the weakened starboard side. Remember the starboard side? Yes. I decided to heave to. Heave to means slow the sailboat's progress. To slow down the speed of the boat. So what he did was, in order to protect the ship, the starboard side of the ship, he slowed down the sailboat, the progress of the boat, the speed of the boat. And with the undamaged port hull facing the oncoming waves, using an improvised sea anchor of heavy nylon rope and two 22-liter plastic barrels of paraffin. So what did he do? He decided to face the huge waves with the undamaged port hull. Hull is the watertight body of the ship. So undamaged watertight body of the ship. So he thought that he would face the oncoming huge waves facing the undamaged side of the ship, and he used improvised. Improvised means create without any preparation. So he created a sea anchor without proper preparation. Just at that instinct, he prepared a sea anchor with nylon rope, heavy nylon rope, and 22 liter plastic barrels of paraffin. Paraffin is a flammable, whitish, translucent, waxy solid used for candles, used in candle making and cosmetics. Okay, so that is paraffin. So with the help of paraffin, nylon rope, he prepared an anchor at that moment, and with that anchor and the undamaged side of the ship, he decided that he would face the huge waves. Okay, children, today we'll stop here. Tomorrow we'll continue with the rest of the class. Children, please, I'm going slow so that you get time to go through the lesson. Please go through the lesson. Any doubt, give me a call and you can rectify your doubt. Thank you, children. Have a great day.